On my wedding day, I caught my fiancé and my sister cheating in the lounge.
You bastard! You shameless woman, go to hell!
I fiercely gave each of them a hard slap across the face. I became the laughing stock of the entire event. But Liam, my childhood friend, proposed to me in front of everyone.
Nora, marry me. I will never let you down.
Shielding me with dignity. After marriage, he indulged my every whim. The only flaw was that he was unable to perform in bed. This year, after undergoing IVF, I became pregnant. After that, he doted on me even more. I thought he was my true home. Until that day, I overheard his conversation with a friend.
Liam, you are so cruel. Nora treats you so well. How could you make her go through pregnancy just because Sierra's afraid of pain and doesn't want to give birth?
Besides, the baby is due in 2 months. What are you going to do then?
After the baby is born, I will take the baby to Sierra, fulfill her wish. As for Nara, I will tell her the baby is gone. For the rest of her life, I will stay with her.
You're not afraid Nora will find out?
She won't find out.
You're that sure?
She trusts me. Everything I say, she believes without question.
After calming myself down, I went back to the living room and dialed the hospital's number. I don't want this unwanted child, and I certainly don't want this fake marriage. The sound of the door unlocking reached my ears. He was back. The tap of leather shoes on the floor grew closer. He walked to the sofa and bent down slightly, his voice gentle and laced with concern. The nanny said you didn't eat. Is your stomach acting up again? He reached out and gently brushed the hair away from my forehead, his eyes full of worry. Honey, what's wrong? His voice soft. You can't skip meals. It's bad for the baby. I stared at him at this gentle, caring facade. So this is what a man's love looks like when it's all an act. His gaze so tender I almost drowned in it. But it was all just another lie. Since you can act, so can I. I'll act along for 3 more days.
3 days. Then this show is over.
Is the baby growing normally? And should take more supplements?
Your husband is so good to you. Men with this sense of responsibility are rare these days.
He held my hand, his eyes tender.
This baby is so longed for. Of course I will take good care of them.
As we walked out of the consultation room, we ran into Sierra. When she saw us, a flicker of triumph passed through her eyes. I looked at her padded belly and sneered inwardly.
She said what a coincidence, both pregnant at the same time. Turns out she was just waiting for me.
Sis, when is your due date?
As she spoke, she reached out to touch my belly. My gaze turned cold. I raised my hand and slapped hers away.
What do you think you're doing?
Sierra's expression darkened instantly. Just as she was about to speak, I lowered my head, pressed a hand to my stomach, and spoke weakly. My stomach hurts a little. Her words got stuck in her throat. Liam immediately steadied me. Was the checkup too long? Do you need to go back and rest? His tone was full of concern, but I could see clearly that his gaze was fixed on Sierra. I lowered my lashes and said softly, I need to go to the restroom. He frowned, wanting to follow, but I waved him off. He hesitated for a moment before nodding. Just as I expected, he went to comfort Sierra. I quietly followed and stood at a distance. Patient, gentle voice. Sierra frowned, her tone petulant.
Are you catching feelings for her?
She embarrassed me like that and you didn't even stand up for me.
Tell me the truth. Are you reluctant to let her go?
It's all for the baby. She's still...
He didn't finish the sentence. He reached into his pocket and pulled out an exquisite jewelry box, opening it to reveal a brand new bracelet. He gently put it on her and said tenderly, You wanted the new model last time. I bought it for you. Sierra's expression softened. She curled her lips into a smug, coquettish smile. I stood there, watching the scene unfold, and suddenly found it laughable. I turned and walked away, pulling out my phone to make a call.
Hello, I need to confirm my procedure time. Yes, tomorrow. I will be there on time.
Behind me, familiar footsteps suddenly stopped. Tomorrow? Liam's voice carried a hint of confusion. Where are you going? I turned to face him, a faint smile on my lips.
I booked a maternity photo shoot. I want to take a family portrait as a keepsake.
It's not that... I'm worried you'll get too tired, and I have a company meeting tomorrow. How about another day?
What? You don't want to come with me?
No, I do. I just...
It's okay. Work is important.
I can go by myself.
He sighed in relief and ruffled my hair.
You're so understanding. What would I do without you?
You'd be lost.
On the day of the surgery, before Liam left the house, he suddenly pulled out a small bracelet. "This is for you," he said softly, his eyes full of the usual warmth. It was the complimentary bracelet that came with the one he had bought for Sierra. I looked up and smiled at him, my voice gentle. "Thank you. I love it." He smiled, gently ruffled my hair, and murmured, "Honey, you're always so good." Before heading to the hospital for the surgery, I decided to stop by my parents' old house. But before I could even enter, I heard voices coming clearly from inside. Sierra was whining, her voice dripping with dissatisfaction.
What does Nora have to be so arrogant about? She actually hit my hand yesterday.
My mother's voice soothed her.
Just be patient a little longer. Remember when you wanted her fiancé? Didn't we help you get him? And this time as well. Don't rush.
My father sighed, his tone laced with impatience. "Stop causing trouble. You barely managed to marry into that family. If your in-laws find out where the baby really came from, there'll be another scandal, and it'll drag everyone down."
Sierra, don't worry. I brought yesterday's prenatal report. Everything is fine. We just need to wait for the baby to be born.
See? I told you there's nothing to worry about.
He paused, then added, "Mom, Dad, don't worry. I'm fine with it. I'd do anything for Sierra." A moment later, Liam walked out of the living room and saw beads scattered on the floor by the door. They were the beads from the bracelet he had personally put on me that morning. His expression changed drastically, and he rushed to the door.
Nora!
Looking around frantically, barely concealing his panic. He was so anxious that he broke out in a sweat and dialed my number.
Honey, where are you? Please, let me explain.
I said nothing.
Hello? Honey? Can you hear me? I know you must have heard something. Just tell me where you are. Let's talk.
Nora, please sign here before the procedure.
Procedure? Procedure? Where are you? What procedure are you having? Surgery? Where are you? Where are you? What surgery are you having?
I looked calmly at the screen and slid my finger across it. Disconnect. Power off. I sat on the hospital gurney as I listened to my best friend on the phone, giving low instructions. After a few seconds, she hung up and looked at me.
Don't worry. Everything is going according to plan. Good.
The doctor pushed the door open.
Nora, one more confirmation before surgery. The fetus is already quite developed. This will be an induction. Are you sure?
My gaze was calm. "I'm sure." He paused, then asked,
Do you have any family here?
"Family?" I let out a soft, derisive laugh. Those people who claimed to love me and care for me were all deceiving me.
None. They're all dead.
And the world fell silent except for this was the first decision I had made for myself. It's okay. Without them, I could still live a better life. After the surgery, in the hospital room, I wasn't fully awake yet when I heard a familiar voice. She asked softly,
Liam has been calling me nonstop. I gave him a fake address, but he'll figure it out soon. How are you feeling?
I paused for a moment, then instinctively reached down to touch my lower abdomen. It was flat. My best friend watched my movement.
Do you regret it? Regret? The only thing I regret is not seeing through them sooner.
I reached for the bedside table, took out the documents I had prepared, and handed them to her. She took the file.
Divorce papers? Yes, send it immediately.
My voice was hoarse but clear. She didn't ask any further. After a pause,
By the way, those stocks you bought through my account, they've already made a profit. I'll transfer the money to you right away.
Good. Don't let them know. Once I've recovered, I'll settle the score with them. Slowly.
a day later, hurried footsteps sounded outside the hospital room.
How could you be so impulsive? You've misunderstood everything. I can explain.
Explain? Explain what? Explain how you used my womb to carry a child for someone else? Or explain how you pretended to care for me during my pregnancy, while secretly going to comfort her?
Sierra stormed in angrily.
Do you even know what you've done? You actually aborted the What I did is none of your business. In 2 months, what you can give birth to, that's what you should be worrying about.
Sierra's face changed dramatically. I couldn't be bothered to watch her act any longer. My gaze swept across the people in the room and finally landed on my fuming parents standing in the corner.
You even consider us your parents? How dare you make such a huge decision without consulting your family?
Regardless of anything else, the child was innocent. How could you do something so heartless?
You're so blatantly two-faced. When you made me give up my fiancé, when you made me carry this child and give it to Sierra, you never asked if I was willing either.
And now you're asking me if I know what I'm doing?
Sorry. I'm just learning from you, making the choices that are mine to make.
My mother was left speechless.
You.
Nora, are you really doing this? Do we have to go this far?
What, you can't read my signature?
Don't regret this.
Regret? The only thing I regret right now is not seeing through all of you sooner.
Nora! You've disappointed us so much! You're gonna break with your family over something so trivial?
Since you insist on doing this, don't blame us for being heartless. From today on, you are no longer a daughter of the family.
Finally, the facade was torn apart. I lay on the hospital bed, slowly tightening my fingers, staring at the ceiling. My heart felt no waves instead. I felt an unprecedented lightness. Oh well, it's okay. Anyway, starting today, I was no longer the one they thought should be sacrificed. During my recovery, I healed quickly and successfully obtained the divorce certificate. At that moment, I didn't even feel anything special, as if I had woken up completely from an absurd dream, finally free. Then, I headed straight for the largest financial firm. This time, I was no longer the woman behind Liam. I wanted to rely on myself to carve out my own path. As I walked into the building, I noticed a wealthy-looking lady staring at me intently. She was visibly stunned. Hesitating for a moment, she walked over and spoke in a gentle,
Miss, could we talk for a moment?
I hesitated, but somehow, I felt an inexplicable closeness to her. Over a month later, news came Sierra had given birth. Her in-laws threw a grand banquet. A cold smile curled on my lips. Without the child from my womb, she had managed to find another baby from somewhere, fooling everyone quite quickly. I had planned to let her revel in her complacency for a while before exposing her, but as it happened, the wealthy lady had also been invited to the banquet.
Would you like to come with me?
Go? Of course I'll go.
At the banquet, my parents stood beside her, faces full of pride. Liam was also there. When they saw me, their expressions changed instantly.
What are you doing here?
What? Can't I come to congratulate my little sister? She twitched her mouth. Sister, how do you have the time to come? Sierra, I really wonder how you could be my sister. You have absolutely no brains. I continued. You should be keeping a low profile, but instead you're showing off here. Aren't you afraid? In the banquet hall, some people tried to mediate. We're all family, don't be like this. But Sierra, provoked by me, could no longer suppress her anger. She let out a cold laugh.
Nora! You're just jealous of me! Since we were kids, everyone liked me more! Mom and Dad protected me! My fiancé chose me in the end!
You lost your own child and no man wants you. You just can't stand to see me happy, so you came to stir up trouble. As her words fell,
Since you put it that way, it would be a shame if I didn't say something.
I had only taken a few steps. My mother's voice was sharp and furious.
Nora! You are a jinx! You lost your own child and now you want to ruin your sister? She finally had a child. Her life is going so well and you just have to come and cause trouble? I told you long ago, we no longer recognize you as our daughter. Why are you still shamelessly showing up here?
Her curses grew uglier and uglier. All eyes on us. Liam also stepped forward.
Stop this.
I looked at him mockingly.
Enough! We should never have picked you up in the first place.
So that was it. Everything was clear now. I was never their biological daughter. The wealthy lady rushed over, shielding me behind her.
Since you have admitted with your own mouths that she is not your child, then this all ends here.
My adoptive mother tried to keep up a brave front.
Who do you think you are? We're disciplining our own daughter. What business is it of yours?
Sierra's in-laws hurried over, their expressions changing as they looked at the wealthy lady.
Isn't this the wife of the wealthiest man in the country?
Her parents' faces changed dramatically.
Since she is not your biological daughter, let's do a DNA test.
because I believe she is the child we lost over 20 years ago. If she truly is my daughter, then everything you've done to her all these years is absolutely my business.
I watched all this, the corners of my mouth turning up in a cold smile. I slowly turned to look at Sierra's in-laws.
This I'm not their biological child, and they don't treat me as a near. I have no reason to save face for them anymore. You'd better investigate this child. Don't be camed.
As my words fell, Sierra's face was white.
Sierra, this child, is there really no problem?
Of course he's mine! Mom, how can you doubt me?
We'll do the paternity test tomorrow.
Lara's face went completely white. Liam walked over, his expression complex, his brow tightly knit, clearly just now realizing the full gravity of the situation.
Nora, I never imagined it would come to this.
Oh, really?
I always thought you used your ability to suppress Sierra, and your parents favored you too. That's why I felt sorry for her. I didn't know it was like this.
His words sounded like regret, but to my ears, they were just excuses. Was he truly remorseful? Or had his feelings changed only after discovering I might be the heiress of a wealthy family? I didn't know, and I didn't want to know. All I knew was that his deceit and hurt toward me had to be paid for.
Liam, regret is useless. You made your choice back then. Now you have to live with the consequences.
His lips trembled slightly, but I was done listening. I turned and walked away without looking back. Sure enough, I was the daughter of the wealthiest family in the city. When my biological parents learned the truth, their eyes held shock, guilt. They had never given up searching for me all these years, never imagining that I had been suffering neglect and oppression in a place like the family. But I just smiled faintly. I knew what happened back then wasn't their fault. But I was already grown. I didn't want to rely on anyone to turn my life around. I wanted to create my own future. Though they were saddened, they understood and ultimately nodded in support. Without my investment insight and strategic planning, Liam's company began to decline. One wrong decision after another led to a plummeting stock price and a wave of debt crises. Worse still, not only would I not help him now, I had become his biggest enemy. Though my parents respected my independence, after learning what he had done, they did not hesitate to launch commercial attacks on his company. Without my help, he was nothing more than a mediocre businessman, without even a chance to recover. Of course, Sierra's child wasn't her own. No one knew where she had found it, trying to pass it off as hers. After the paternity test results came out, Sierra and the child were thrown out by her husband's family. Once arrogant and high and mighty, she was now left with nothing. Stumbling back home, red-eyed and emotionally broken, she pushed open the door and shouted,
Please, someone help me! Please!
But the response was the dead silence of the living room. Her parents were sitting on the sofa, their faces dark. The once luxurious living room now felt especially cold and empty. Her father's expression was terrifyingly gloomy. Sensing the strange atmosphere, Sierra hurried over. Dad, Mom, think of something fast, they won't acknowledge me anymore. I have nothing now. You have to help me.
Help you? We can barely save ourselves. How dare you show your face here?
Sierra froze, her face stiffening.
What?
You think your little schemes wouldn't affect us? You provoked Nora, thought you'd win. And look at you, you've destroyed everything. Do you know what's happened to this family? We've been blacklisted. Partners cut us off. Our capital chain is broken. Banks won't lend to us. The whole business is collapsing. If it weren't for you, would we be in this mess?
Sierra's face turned pale.
No, that's impossible. How can this be?
Her mother let out a cold laugh, her eyes full of rage.
If you hadn't stolen Nora's fiancé, if you hadn't kept provoking her, would she have cut us off completely? She's the daughter of the wealthiest family now. Do you really think we can fight that?
You're all talk. Can't do anything right but ruin everything.
Hearing this, she completely lost control.
So now it's all my fault? Weren't you the same? You told me to crush her. You've always protected me. Now that things go wrong, you push it all on me?
Her father slammed the table and roared. How dare you shout at us? Look at what you've done.
If Nara's baby had been born, your in-laws would never have suspected a thing. But no, you lost it the moment someone provoked you. You couldn't keep your mouth shut.
Father.
You admitted your doubts yourself. That's why they demanded a DNA test. How stupid can you be?
Sierra's breath caught, her face instantly going pale. Her father sneered, his eyes full of disappointment. We've always protected you. And what have you done? You're nothing but a failure. Sierra panicked completely. She finally realized that not only had the Liam family abandoned her, but even her parents had lost their last bit of patience with her. She stood there dazed, her mind blank. She had always thought she was her parents' most beloved daughter, but now she finally saw even her parents were starting to despise her, even loathe her. Just when you thought Sierra would back down, she still wouldn't give up. One day, a close friend forwarded me a post. Take a look, she's utterly shameless. I clicked and saw a wildly popular long post titled, From Childhood to Now, She Has Taken Everything From Me. The post was filled with her so-called miserable experiences, being the eldest daughter, oppressing her at every turn, taking all the good things in the family. She said I was scheming, gentle on the surface, but secretly forcing her to give way. Even the fiancé was something I made my parents give me, and she was forced to accept it. She said that now, relying on my status as the long-lost daughter of a wealthy family, I was acting spoiled and ruthlessly taking revenge on her, forcing her to divorce and ruining her reputation. Within a few hours, the post had gone viral. Many people believed her and started attacking me. When my biological parents saw the post, their faces turned ashen. My mother was shaking with anger. That woman is shameless. I'm going to have that trending topic taken down. We can't let this spread. My father, his face cold, was already contacting a PR team. If she wants a cyber war, we'll play along. I opened my phone and pulled an audio file from a folder. It was the recording I had made outside the Gu family home. It clearly captured the conversation from that day. What is Nora compared to me? Since we were little, everything she had was supposed to be mine, wasn't it? Don't worry, we've given you her fiancé. We'll give you the child too. Once the baby is born, just bear with it. I posted the recording online without reservation. As soon as the audio came out, public opinion completely reversed. But some still didn't believe it, claiming the recording might be edited or fake. Just then, a familiar figure spoke up online. Liam stepped forward and apologized to me. The internet exploded. Damn, now this jerk comes out to whitewash himself, using your own wife's womb to bear another woman's child. Are you nuts? Liam, what the hell were you thinking? I'm dumbfounded. This is a classic case of raising your own replacement. Too bad you're nowhere near worthy of her now. Liam, you should go down with Sierra. After his apology, Liam contacted me, asking to meet. Nora, I know you don't want to see me, but there are things I want to say to you in person. I refused. He no longer had any qualification to sway me. But the next day, as I went out, a car suddenly accelerated toward me, the screech of brakes piercing the air. In the split second between life and death, someone lunged and shoved me out of the way. He was knocked to the ground, blood staining the asphalt. Police arrived, and they took control of the vehicle. The car door opened, and Sierra rushed out like a mad woman.
Nora! It's all you, you bitch! You took everything from me! Why do you get to live happily?
Her eyes full of venom and madness. The police quickly subdued her. I stood to the side, watching the scene with cold, indifferent eyes. Nora. His hoarse voice called, reaching out to grab the hem of my clothes. I stepped back, avoiding him. Sierra suddenly roared in despair, full of hatred.
You always stood by me! You said you'd always help me! How could you change?
Sierra, I've been wrong for so many years. Why can't you see it too?
Why won't you wake up? Wake up. Sierra laughed as if she'd heard the biggest joke. Why should I wake up? I've just done what you did. You deceived her for me, and now you think I've gone too far. Liam's pupils trembled, as if he'd been slapped hard. He finally realized just how stupid his choices had been, and I no longer wanted anything to do with their mess. I glanced at him lying on the ground and said calmly, "The ambulance is here." He was silent for a long time, then finally spoke, his voice raspy. "Nora, can we go back to how things were?" I smiled softly. Go back? He had destroyed everything with his own hands, and now he still dreamed of making amends? I looked at him. There is no how things were for us anymore. Don't think you can cleanse yourself by putting on a show of pain and regret. You chose to marry me. You lied that I couldn't have children. Then you turned around and deceived me for Sierra. Now you want to say sorry. Don't you find it ridiculous? Every word of mine was a sharp knife, slicing straight into his heart. In the end, his hand slowly lowered, his eyes filled with pain and remorse. She had deliberately driven a car into someone an egregious offense. My biological parents used their connections to put her straight in prison. This time, there was no chance of a comeback. I finally broke free from that cold, calculating family, and welcomed a life that was truly mine. That absurd nightmare was finally over. As for those who once betrayed me, they paid the price in the end, and I had long since stopped looking back.